Betsy McCoy, she lugs around the 1,700-page tome that is the Obamacare rulebook, and there's yet another delay. Only she can follow what's going on, and yes, she's here. We start, what else? With what else? Obamacare, of course. Now the White House wants to delay the rule that would prohibit companies from offering better health coverage to their executives than their rank and file. Betsy McCoy, author of a new book called Beating Obamacare in 2014, and I am in the acknowledgements of that book. That's why she's here again this Monday morning.
As well you should be, for informing the public about what is in this monstrosity.
Enough of the flattery. It works wonders, by the way. Section 2716 of Obamacare says, you as a company may not offer a more valuable health care plan to the top executives than you do to the rank and file. That rule will not be enforced in 2014.
That's right, contrary.
I say it's because the I.R.S. cannot define what's a high-value plan, what's a high-paid executive. And you say? I
disagree. I think it's because they want to drive the young entry-level employees into the Obamacare exchanges. Nope. The very same reason that they delayed the employer mandate. If they want those young working adults to be in the exchanges, they can't give them an attractive option. So the law firm that currently only covers employers would be required under this provision to also cover paralegals, receptionists, back office people. If they're not required to do that, those people will go to the exchanges, just what the administration wants.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm prepared to admit that we got the story entirely wrong. I just didn't understand the conspiracy theory behind it. Now, but I'm finding it increasingly difficult to find which section of the law is in place right now and effective right now.
In fact, that's one of the reasons, of course, I wrote Beating Obamacare 2014, because what's being rolled out now bears no resemblance to this law enacted in 2010. In our country, the rule of law is supposed to be king, but Mr. Obama didn't get that memo, Charles.
No, but what we do have...
Right.
But wait a minute, we've got the taxes. We have the taxes to pay for it. That's in place. There's no delay there. There's no putting that off for a year.
That's right.
We're all paying.
Well, and we're going to be clobbered with much more. You know, everyone's talking about the supposed death spiral facing insurers if not enough young, healthy people enroll in the exchanges to offset the cost of caring for the ill. But in fact, it's not the insurers who are going to get clobbered, because this law also provides for a bailout. Taxpayers have to compensate insurers who lose money during the first 3 years of this law because they have an adversely selected pool of enrollees.
Senator Rubio is trying to get rid of that provision.
He is, and he will.
But if he does, if the government is not allowed to bail out insurance companies...
I know what you're going to say. Then they'll go out of business? No, Charles. No, Stuart. What this law intends to do is to drive the insurers out of business who aren't participating in the exchanges. Let me ask you, if you said to Ford, we're going to give a government subsidy to everybody who buys a Ford car, and you can price it as low as you want so you don't have to worry about losing money, what would happen to Chrysler?
Tell me.
Chrysler would go out of business because they would have to compete on an uneven playing field. Well, that's what's happening to the insurers.
But by the same token, after the first 3 years, any insurer who's trapped in this program probably will go get hurt. I mean, then they'll...
Oh, no, they can raise the premiums as high as they want, and the mandate will force you to pay it.
But you won't pay it. Well, you pay the fine instead.
The fines also go up. This is actually designed to force us into a single-payer system.
I understand that. Are we in a death spiral for the insurance company?
The taxpayers are, not the insurers.
The taxpayers in a death spiral?
The taxpayers are in a death spiral. That's right. Very few uninsured people, young people are signing up. So far, the people who have signed up lost health coverage because of Obamacare. They're older, they're sicker, they can't afford to go without the care.
So as it turns out, if the insurers underperform by 8% or more, as I understand it, the taxpayers make up 80%.
Oh, yes, we have to pay for those losses. That's right. So they're being incentivized to inaccurately price their product to make this law look workable when it's not workable.
You are an implacable foe of this thing, aren't you?
I've read it, and I know that it's a booby trap for the American public.
Betsy McCoy, thank you very much indeed for being with us. Do appreciate it. Next item.